Morning. Am I late?
Nope, we're not starting yet. We're gonna start
Good.
probably another 5 minutes.
Perfect.
I'll be right back.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, Rose.
Hey.
What you sipping on back there?
You know, just a macchiato.
Ah, nice. I had espresso earlier, a cup of coffee, and then I was craving tea. So now it is tea.
Oh. Oh man,
What?
you're really going through the motions.
I'm going through it right now.
Damn, the next thing you need is one of those super caffeinated charged lemonades from never mind.
Panera Bread? No. Those things should be fucking illegal.
You know they've actually reduced they've like heavily reduced the amount of caffeine in them now.
As they should. I mean that essentially. I mean you were better off getting 20 cc's of adrenaline pumped into you than having one of those.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? Who knows?
Are they good?
I enjoy them personally.
Okay, all right. I'm smelling the bias. I found the bias in the room. What's the go-to tea?
Well, Yorkshire Red, alternatively Yorkshire Golds. They're fine. Red is definitely preferred.
What makes red better than gold? Because
I don't actually know. I don't know if it's a different blend of tea. I just know that I prefer. Like, here's the thing: gold is good, right?
Mm-hmm.
But red is
like.
gooder, in my opinion. But they're both really good. Like, for me, it'd be 1 and 2. You know?
Okay. Because here's my thing. My
hold on. Before I continue, though, this is important. Oftentimes you can get Yorkshire Red or Gold, right? But if it has a string, like, you know, normal like black Lipton tea, you're not getting the right one. There is a massive difference between sort of the, I guess, Americanized tea.
So I think I fucked up because I think mine has a string on it and it tastes different.
It's just like a little, think of like a tea bag, all right? But it's sealed on.
Oh, you mean a string on the actual bag?
Yeah.
No. Okay, I thought you meant like the plastic packaging on the outside has like the pull string or whatever it's called.
Yes.
The, like, little...
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about? Or
no. I'm talking about, like, you know, if you get like Lipton tea, like black tea, it's got like, it's the tea bag, but it has a string, and you sort of dip it up and down, right?
Not the pull apart. Yeah.
So the other one, you can get, you know, Yorkshire Red or Gold in the US, but if it has the string where you can sort of dip it up and down, and it's not just like a pouch, you know, a tea bag that's kind of just like a pouch with no string, you get the one with the string, it's not the same.
Okay, I got the ones without the string. I'm
okay,
glad
good,
I did. Okay,
good.
we're good. I was about to say, I dropped like $30 on tea.
Sure, because it sounds like you have the one with the string.
No. So you ever get like a package?
I know what you're talking about, Flop.
Yeah, it's got the little like pull here, and it like you pull it, and it circles the edge of a package, and it breaks the seal essentially. I don't know how to describe it. You know what I'm talking about, though. I didn't know if you were talking about that.
Like I said, I know what you're talking about.
I gotta try red now. Where do you get red?
You know, the Amazon. That's where I got mine.
Yeah, well, guess what? Stand by.
I got big boxes, though. Like, not that I have it on hand right now, but if I recall correctly, it was like 240 tea bags.
Holy shit.
Wait a minute. What? I need. Hold on.
Yeah. And you don't need to go out for tea for a long time.
Wait, Turner, got another minute?
Yeah, you got like 2 or 3.
Okay, all right, perfect. Because I'm having another headache.
It's only $16 though for 240.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying.
Hey, here, my credit card.
Is that a coffee cup?
Are you talking to me or are you talking to Rhodes?
Rhodes. I see him
Ye-
holding the coffee
Okay.
cup there.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Where'd you get that from? Coffee
Home,
bean or? Oh, okay.
home. I have I have an espresso machine. Probably want one for Mission Row.
Right. I wasn't sure if you talked to him already and got that advanced or not. Or,
No,
I know
no,
you said
not
you mentioned
quite.
you were going to do that.
Yeah, I haven't seen him.
I see. All right. Well, it might
Ooh.
just be us four plus Slacks.
It was yesterday. It was just me and Den for a couple hours.
It gonna be one of
Yeah.
those days.
You know what? Den is he a predictor? Okay, he said Rhodes, these peoples is following me. So I show up. You know, they back off. He's like, you know what, Rhodes? I hate to do it, but I'm gonna put my gun away. I was like, damn, that's simultaneously both smart and stupid. But
Two birds, one stone.
But like, if you ain't got nothing to be robbed of, what are they gonna do to you?
Well, they
So
might
he
still
put it-
stab you and being
Well, so
pissed
here's the
off.
thing. He put it away. He didn't actually tell me he had put it away yet. So again, just me and him. He, I guess, does a traffic stop. He then gets held up by 4 or 5 people at knife point. He did not have his gun on him, so they were unable to take that.
Where was his gun?
I don't actually know. I don't know. But I'm gonna be real. I started to scheme afterwards. I was thinking, if it comes to low units like that and we're being robbed and we ain't got no means of backup, I'm just saying, my gun about to be my vest. And only coming out when I need it.
We do have lock boxes in our cars now.
Yeah, that's something the captains are talking on what we want to use it for. What exactly we want to use them for at this point. So I guess for the time being, that's all right. But I mean, I don't think we should be putting our guns away. You know?
Well, I mean, it's either we deal with the gun now or we deal with the gun later when it's used to shoot someone and or us, or even attempt to hold an officer up at gunpoint, right? Like if an
another
officer's in
gun.
their car and an individual has a knife and the window's rolled up, we can just drive away, right? The moment they have a firearm, that whole dynamic changes.
Yeah.
And given the amount of firearms that have already been taken off of officers, most of, from my understanding, which have been recovered, I mean, are they going to get upset that we don't have them? I mean, we could just play off, unfortunately, given the increase in robberies, officers are not carrying firearms on their person. Even though that's a lie, unless we can play it off. But
Well,
he didn't
that-
have
that's
one
a
on him at
double-edged
all.
blade.
It wasn't.
Because if civilians hear that we're unarmed, who's protecting them now?
Oh yeah, I mean, you're not wrong, but also I didn't put mine away. I did throw mine in my lockbox. And then we heard over radio, EMS called and said that someone had stabbed, I think, Speedy at Senior Buns. Den arrives, he sees the person, he pursues. Now, obviously, at this point, he doesn't have a gun, but I do. So I take mine out, and I tell Den, you tell them if they reach for anything, they're gonna get shot. They climb a ladder, Den climbs behind them. They reach, I shot them. I did it. They were warned. They pulled the knife. Den was in, proximity of him. I shot. That's now the second. I've had to shoot 2 people yesterday on the 1st of the year, and I haven't shot anyone 2 weeks prior. How does that happen? What's in the water?
Out for blood.
So are you telling me that Den had no firearm on him while chasing after the suspect?
That is exactly what I'm saying. He did have his baton, though. He was ready to swing.
Okay. We're not doing that anymore.
I'm gonna just sip my macchiato.
I can't have officers out there unarmed responding to scenes.
I'm gonna be real. Each situation is sort of an evil, one of which may be the lesser of 2 evils, but I mean, like I said, every scene we rolled up to, we were heavily outnumbered. there wasn't there really wasn't much we could do. And when I say it was just the two of us, there was probably 45 minutes of no EMS available either. So we were having to respond to the apartments where 4 people were stuck in the elevator yesterday, with no EMS until Tim showed up. It was rough, and we were continuously in areas where we were heavily outnumbered. You know, if someone had pulled a knife, we would have had no ability to do anything really, outside of surrender whatever it is they wanted. But yeah, like I said, I don't think it's ideal, but I don't really know what else we should do.
Numbers are tough. I know it's tough, right? I mean, I've been out there too when I've been alone before. It's not easy. It's very hard. Disarming ourselves is
What
not
did
an
you
answer,
just do?
for one. I know it might seem like an answer, but it's not one. We should stay armed. When it comes to numbers, we're obviously hiring. The academies this weekend. We're gonna have more numbers. It's gonna be a slow but gradual increase in numbers. We'll have more units. Hopefully that won't be a problem. But I do think it is a safety issue for both officers, and I know the devil's advocate is going to say, well, we don't want a gun on the street, but I think the worst thing that could happen is something happen in front of us, a civilian, and you're running up with a baton while they got a knife stabbing someone. I mean,
Yeah, I agree.
That's
I
someone
agree.
who should be shot, right? We shouldn't be swinging batons at that point. So, I mean, just for future at this point, let's stay armed. We got to deal with what we got. I know it's tough.
I will say though, Den was unaware of the lockbox in our vehicle. Had he have known, he very likely would have had his firearm and magazines in there. Obviously, when then pursuing the individual who stabbed someone. But you know, given the knowledge he had at the time, from my understanding, he left it over at Mission Row. So,
okay. Well,
I kept mine in my lockbox. All right.
Nope, nobody's getting in trouble for it, but just for future, let's keep it on us. We gotta see how we're gonna handle actually using those lock boxes. Again, that's something the captains had a brief talk about. We want to talk slightly a little bit more about if we're gonna be putting if it is just gonna be for weapons, if we're gonna do it for all government equipment, are we doing it for spike strips? What we're doing exactly? That's what we're talking about right now. Because fitting spike strips in there may be a little tough. So,
Got it. Okay.
for the time being, there's no details as to what I want to use for. So just be smart, right? Be smart when it comes to using those lock boxes.
Yep. Understood.
So,
I'd be smart.
At least right now is government equipment.
Understood.
All right.
Spike trips are a good thing to put in a lockbox.
Yeah, I agree, but not inside. So maybe if we end up getting a lockbox for the trunk.
That'd be
That
great.
would be amazing. That would be amazing.
Right.
I took a
Hey,
shared
Connor,
vehicle.
how are you,
We're
man?
weighing here.
Hope you're
That's
doing
what
well.
we're talking about. When I'm saying spike strips.
Connor,
shouldn't
are
be
you
in lockbox.
pursuing PD
It
stuff?
shouldn't be, where we
I know you expressed
or we-
interest.
have passengers, right? Because that means we got to throw on the floorboard, and but we got to work with what we got to. So, like I said, we're gonna talk to the captains. We're gonna figure it out. The goal would be to have a lockbox in the trunk as well for larger items like barriers, like spike strips, things like that.
Hell yeah. Dude, I'm excited.
So,
I'm excited.
That would be incredible.
Hey, Cap, any tea behind, the potentials?
nope.
Shit. Come on.
You trying? You trying?
I'm trying so hard. I haven't
I'm
had
not
to-
giving any names out.
I know,
Names you'll find out. You're either gonna find out from the people or at the academy.
Listen, I even shot myself in the foot, and I told Sanders, it seems that Turner isn't trying to reveal who is and isn't, so don't be giving names out. Listen, I shot myself in the foot. I could have asked her to spill all the tea, all of it.
Yeah, I haven't told her not to tell anyone. So
You got any
But I will
interviews
now.
today?
I have 2 interviews today.
What time, potentially, should I swing by Mission Row?
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
After this meeting at some point.
Okay.
Are we gonna get the times for the academy stuff? Because I don't. Do we have it somewhere listed?
What I'm gonna be doing, we don't have it listed anywhere yet. That's. I know we're coming down to the,
No
to the
bullshit.
line here, but it's gonna be
Shaw
myself.
will be making a
and then I'm
comeback
gonna
at
end
some
up pulling
point.
1 or 2 people at a time to assist with it. I need officers out there too during it. So some officers will be staying out there and patrolling because those are going to be done most likely starting. It'd be starting now is the time the academy starts, or a little bit, maybe 30 minutes from now. And it'd be going for about 6 hours.
For shift 3.
For shift 3, right?
You think
But
it'll
each shift
actually
has
take
its own
6
academy.
hours?
Well, we're having a Zoom call the first day. Is our goal.
Okay, got
Right.
it.
And then we have 2 days after that. I'm gonna say we have criteria that we want to meet, and make sure we have done each day. So I'm telling people 4 to 6 hours, but
Got
up
it,
to
okay.
6 hours. Also, I mean, my personal opinion too, when it comes to academies, is if we invest a little bit more time, especially with a smaller class, and we're able to answer questions and go through things a little bit more in detail. Hopefully that helps shorten FTO times. Cadet phase. Hopefully they're through that phase a little bit faster. They have a little bit more information going into their ride along. You know, not in a live situation, but in a training scenario where we can break things down and really explain stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that's why I'm also pushing for a 6-hour academy. You know, but if it's done quicker, it's done quicker. But I think historically speaking, at least from what some officers have said, was burnout from FTOs.
Oh, 100%.
Definitely.
Not a doubt in my mind.
And you know, I can absolutely relate to that. I understand that, and want to. We're trying to figure out a way that that would help combat that. Although I don't think there is a direct way to combat that besides doing a week-long academy, which might be a little hard to make happen for a lot of people.
Yeah,
A
not
lot of
wrong.
people will fall asleep during those. So, man, do we have something here to talk about? Let me double check. I know you have something to talk about there, Mabel, right?
Yep.
Okay. Did you get answers only for 31s or for only joyriding?
Only joyriding. I haven't. I need to get on a more 31 Bravo scenes
see
and
Shaw.
see
I intend on
if
playing Shaw.
and what
Yeah.
could be.
The reality
consistent
here is
variable
PD
with
needs
them.
far more help right now.
Of all of the 31 Bravo scenes I've been on,
And
I've
everything
still
needs to
only
be
seen
sort of
one
in
where there was
motion and in a
victim.
good place before I consider Shaw. If there aren't even
Um,
cops to arrest people,
And I don't know.
you
It's
know,
difficult.
it's not really ideal to
That
play
was
an
the first time I've
attorney.
seen a victim
that
that was
makes
actually
sense.
like stabbed or injured in some way, shape, or form. Most of the time, I guess we were on one earlier, and there was a lot of locals in the area at the locations in which the 31s were called at, but it was hard to tell if they were victims or just kind of hanging out. That's
Yeah,
something that
you're not wrong. There was an individual who we suspected was beaten up, and sometimes looking over their injuries is a bit difficult.
Right.
Sorry to
Yeah.
cut off real quick. The recent dispatch call, card number 3, is the information about that? Do you guys see that?
The apartment number?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
never
Yep,
knew
it's
the
been a thing.
dispatch had that information.
That's been shown up.
And a thing.
I apologize.
The
Gonna
only
prove it.
thing is sometimes if the elevator malfunctions, I could be wrong here. I suspect like apartment numbers like 111, 112 are closest to the elevator. So if you see an apartment number like that, again, you might want to verify that no one's in the elevator shaft first, because we had gotten a couple of those, and when I had gone to the actual apartment thing, I heard people in the elevator. There's 4 of them. So just keep that in mind. The people might just assume,
So one more time. So if it's B401, where could it be potentially? Up and down one?
I would assume that to be. So do you know how there would be a, like if all right, you make a left as you enter. To the right hand side, there's the elevator. Then there's double doors. I assume one would be to the left hand side, but to the right of that would either be like 111 or 112.
Yeah.
So the ones, you know, that are 111, 112, if you see that, it's likely an elevator situation. So I wouldn't suspect 401 to be an elevator situation. I could be wrong, but in my experience, just from yesterday, EMS would have more knowledge behind this, but from my experience based on yesterday, like a 111, 112, closest to the elevator is probably going to be an elevator situation versus someone injured in their actual apartment.
All right.
It's actually good to know.
What is everyone's take on the legalities of going into a building like that? So, we got an injury call.
Yep.
401. And you get no response when you get there. Door's locked. Nobody screaming for help.
You still have a case load.
Knock knock, no response. Knock knock, hello, this is the police. We heard that someone may be injured in there. No response. I'm gonna be real. I
Welfare check.
Yeah.
I might just be opening the door, peeking in, making sure everything's okay. Make sure there's no injured people. I ain't looking around for anything but, you know, an injured person, and that be that.
I'm gonna throw a wrench in that real quick because I guess this takes back to you, Cap, because I'm in the same boat. If we get a call that somebody might be injured inside of a location, and we have no response inside, I feel like we at some point, granted, I could be wrong on this, and I'll eat my words if I am. We would have some circumstance to do a quick peek and check. I got word today. I should actually get a brief statement about this. I had an individual stop me at a traffic stop, Mr. Richard Wojcik. I don't remember his name. Interesting fellow, but he told me that when he wakes up in the morning, he snoops in apartments. And I said, okay, that's illegal.
Wait, that's the person who took Sanders' SIM card and then took his job.
What?
Richard came here to be a receptionist. And then when Sanders showed up, she realized that Richard was the person who took her SIM card, stole it from her. And then she took his job by being better than him.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah, fuck that guy. But he told me that he went into an apartment and he said he saw a weed plant. So I said, okay, that's interesting. But he stated that he apparently saw a weed plant and something that he wanted to tip off about, which I thought was interesting. But I guess it leads the question, Cap, if we were like, let's say, for example, doing a welfare check on an apartment and we happen to check and we see weed, I mean, at that point, I feel like to confiscate something like that, would that not have to go through proper channels of requesting a search and seizure?
This is
Very
so
interesting
dirty and nuanced.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
I'm gonna be real with the calls. The reality here is, if a person's apartment is locked, no one is really getting in there outside of. I mean, hopefully the priority is EMS, right? But take a situation like now where there is no EMS. I would say, my personal opinion at the very least, you know, we try to verify that no one inside is injured. But if we don't get a response, that could also mean the person's incapacitated, right? So, like, you know, I wouldn't also feel comfortable just leaving, especially if we get a call with a very specific apartment number. For me, again, I'm looking at the floor and for anything resembling a person, and that's probably it.
So, well, that won't get us in trouble. What happens when we do go in there and see, I don't know, some meth lab or something? Ignore it?
I don't know. That gets tricky.
Yeah, I don't have
That
an
gets
answer to that
tricky.
either.
Like, I don't know
Because-
if I'm looking at it close enough to be able to determine that. You know, what if? Listen, I don't know about you. I've been scrolling through the TikTok lives, and some people be assuming that these people's is making drugs on there, but really they're melting electronics down to get gold or some shit. All right, some things can look like another. It is what it is.
Okay, you have a tray of meth sitting on the stove. Clear as day. Now what do you do?
How
Do we
clear is it?
Well, I mean,
Clear
do
as
we
day.
have anything saying
here's
that
what-
we can't go in right now?
Well, I mean, I still think your Fourth Amendment
Right.
is going to be applying.
I don't know. Maybe it's just like maybe it's not meth. Maybe it's just one of them like edible crystals, just all not
maybe
together.
it's candy.
Right. So
Like I said, I don't know that I'm looking close enough if I'm just looking for a person, make sure they're okay.
yeah,
At least for now, you know? At least for now.
I think we
listen-
should get a little bit more clarification on it, is what I'm saying.
I agree. Unfortunately,
Little
that clarification is likely going to come in the form of someone finding something in
Lawsuit.
someone's apartment, yeah, and it being
Yeah.
determined as like justified. Alternatively, a lawsuit, and we're out a bunch of money.
There's that, but it also comes into question, I guess, Cap, if you would believe that going in to check on an injured person would just fall under exigent circumstance to enter the property.
It 100% falls
Right.
under
It does,
yeah.
However, you have to be able to justify that. And then
Yes.
is that 911 call, that CAD call, enough to justify it? That's the question.
Now,
That's-
let's not
that's what I'm
forget
getting
this, right? I can tell you here right now, again, yesterday, at least 2 separate calls of an apartment like 111, 112 that was not actually in said apartment, but was at the elevator, right? So, like, if we did waltz in to a 111, 112 or whatever it is, and it ended up being an elevator situation where the cable snapped, like I said, I don't know. I think at least right now, the best middle ground, in my opinion, is my blinders are on and I'm looking at the ground for an injured person. There ain't much to look
So,
at in
I
there. It's
mean,
small.
As per our constitution, absent probable cause with exigency. So, in the case that we don't have probable cause or exigent circumstances, that private property and real estate need a search warrant. So it says it right here that if we don't have those two things, then we need a search warrant, which implies if we have those things, then we can go in.
Okay. Do you have it?
In the case of an injured person,
A reported injured person, not a confirmed.
It-
Very important there.
Maple, let me ask you, what's your apartment number?
1103, B1103.
So I imagine that's gonna be or be 103.
No, 1103, 11th floor.
Okay. All right. Let me try to put this into context.
Right. I got that. I get that. That's why I'm.
There we are.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. If you don't have, that's what I'm asking. Right. I don't have an answer for you on that either.
EMS disregard last.
That's
Right.
what I'm asking as well. That's why I'm bringing it up here. Is does that CAD call, does that 911 call justify us exercising exigent circumstance to make forced entry into that location and pull somebody out? And then what happens if we see things? I think for the time being we deal with the injured person. We go
I
in there, we
agree.
get them out. And like Rhodes said, blinders on. For the time being, I think we need to get clarification on things before we make, I guess, a in stone SOP on how to handle something like that, or you know, a standard as to how we're going to deal with a situation like that.
I think that's fair. Not bite off more than we can chew.
Right. While we could still be, you know, looking at the same exact problem with us going in there, if somebody were to make it a problem, you know, it's a lot less likely for the time being. So, just yeah, that's our stance on it right now.
There be a law on our plate. No need to add more.
Not yet. All right.
You want me to send my piece, Cap?
Yeah, let's get you up here. You can explain what's going on.
Okay. So, myself and it went on a bit of a journey today when it came to 37s, 37 Bravos, and joyriding. Um, Essentially, after talking with two judges, both Norm Adams and uh, Anastasia Gatsby, determined that having uh, tampering on the vehicle's been tampered with. The individual is unable to provide proof that they know the driver. They don't know the owner of the vehicle and are unable to provide proof that they have permission to drive the vehicle. That is enough to prove beyond reasonable doubt, or not beyond reasonable doubt. That is enough to shift the burden of proof and make them have to try and prove they're innocent. So we don't need the 911 call or dispatch call or a report for a vehicle to be stolen for it to be a joyriding charge or something more if need be. Gets that. The reason this all came up was because of 37s. What at least a lot of 37s up in Vinewood have been is that it's people with those fob things where they are able to go up to the house, get the key fob for their car, for the victim's car.
Oh, is it the repeater thing?
How do they do
They
that?
open. I have no fun. They have some sort of device. I think Kit was talking to Cordwood about. There's some sort of device that they have where they can essentially extend the distance of the fob to open the car and to steal the car. But when they do that,
Chat, we were
obviously
talking about this the other day.
owner is probably at home. It's happening at night, almost probably asleep. So the owner is not reporting the car stolen. So they still have to break into the car. It's clear that that the car has been tampered with. There's, they don't have a key in the car in the ignition. And if they can't prove that they own it, I mean, you guys know all that stuff. Y'all aren't new. That is enough to charge with joyriding. And we are going to try and press this because we want to try and get guilty pleas and kind of build up a pattern. And eventually, if need be, it can go to bench trial and they can make a case law out of it for like car robberies, and that those things would equal the car robbery or a stolen vehicle or whatever. Joyriding charge, yeah. So the biggest thing with these 37s that we're responding to now is that we're going to want to be looking for vehicles leaving the scene. The problem with that is that they're not flagged. So, I mean, we got to use our best judgment, watch a car that comes out of the area. If it breaks a traffic law in some way, shape, or form, hit it, see if there's tampering with the vehicle, question the suspect, try and get it that way. But otherwise, we don't have a alert, or if the plate's not flagged, the owner doesn't know it's been stolen yet. So we gotta just try and make do with what we have on that one.
I have
Yeah.
a question.
Well, for the sole purpose of documentation, I responded to a 37 last night, and there was an injured individual being picked up by a second person. The second person then jumped into the driver's seat after loading the injured person into the car. I said, let me call EMS, blah, blah, blah. They said they weren't feeling well either, even though they tried making excuses as to, them wanting to leave. They then passed out at the wheel. Both injuries from what they called a velociraptor. But it seemed that they had gotten both bitten and mauled by some kind of animal in the area, in the direct vicinity of the 37. But I didn't, again, this is when we were very short-staffed. I didn't have any backup. So all I wanted to do was question them. There was two individuals, Conal McGregor, who from my understanding is a doctor, and Tane Mahuda. And I also did document the clothing that they were wearing, because they were masked up. But both of their stories did line up. They were shopping for a house in the hills because the south side is a shithole, is what they said. But I didn't have anything to actually hold them on. However, when I arrived, there was what looked like an electric sports vehicle, whether that be a Neon or a Raiden, parked outside. It was yellow in color. And there was a Dilettante, kind of looks like a newer Prius type deal, in the driveway of the property. However, while I was dealing with these people, I looked back, that vehicle was gone. Now, that vehicle is a hybrid, and it's possible that someone was in it the entire time, didn't even put on the lights, and it just silently drove away because it can do so, under certain speeds on fully electric.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. I try to document as much as I could within that report. But if it is something you wanted to reference, I think it's like 385. Yeah, 385. Yeah, I figured I'd...
Lop, what was your thing?
It's just a general question, I guess. And if I'm being silly asking this, please correct me. You made comment that, we get away from them to break a traffic law. If I'm arriving on scene and I see a vehicle leaving the direct area of a call, would that not already be enough to stop and at least question them?
That'd be a little borderline.
It's
think so?
borderline. I think
Residential area.
yeah.
Okay.
It could be any car. Anybody can just kind of be,
I tried to cover
driving
your
their
tracks,
car.
make sure you have
Yeah, I got you.
good PC for a stop. If it leads into something else,
I'm not
Yeah.
trying to get
You're
anyone
under
on a.
principle.
Yeah, I'm not trying to get anybody on anything. I was just more asking for general interest, something like that.
At the moment, I think it's relatively easy to recognize which vehicle it is we need to follow.
Oh, so sorry, sir. I didn't.
Solely
have the
because
log into my phone
most
there.
everybody right now is driving rental cars, whether it's
How can I
a
help you with
club,
anything
a
now?
Glendale, a Seminole, whatever. In the case today, the individual was driving a rat truck, stuck out like a sore thumb, and it was flanked. It had a fucking Glendale in front and a Seminole in the back. So it was a group of people that were doing it. We followed the rat truck. We ended up just kind of letting them go on a warning and took the car. But at the moment, it's relatively easy, I think, to recognize what vehicle we're looking for, just because we know that not a lot of people have many different variations of cars right now that they were driving around in. But
I've
that's
seen people
probably
driving all sorts of things. So
that's not gonna it's not gonna really hold up for an argument for a stop, right?
not at all.
So we gotta wait until
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
talking about the make and model. I'm talking about the direct
the
vicinity.
leaving the scene. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was referring to. But if we feel that that's a little borderline, I'm not here to push buttons, and I'm not here to try and. I'm asking for clarification.
You know
I
what we
would- I
should
would say
focus
tail
on?
it. They're driving
What's
them
that?
like they stole them.
In an overwhelming, well, I'm not going to say overwhelming majority, but in a lot of cases, we're receiving 47 calls on scene. And in the case that I'm referring to from yesterday, 2 individuals ended up going down as a result of the velociraptor, as they claim. If we get 47s in that area, we should be going up there and documenting, who's there, what their business is up there, stuff like that. Especially, again, if it's in the direct vicinity of where the 37 is being called.
Yeah, I don't think we have enough to push any charges on them, but
I agree. I agree.
definitely
But if I run
increase the
into,
pattern.
Tane Mahuda and Conor McGregor again, right, that's going to be a little suspicious, especially when they're masked up at 3 a.m.
Absolutely.
yeah, I definitely rented my fair share up there too. Okay.
Hey, Tiny.
That's the biggest thing. Then the other thing is that I talked about it earlier, building something for the 31 Bravos, just trying to piece together what variables there are on those calls that we could use to try and prove, to try and shift the burden of guilt to them. So I'm gonna keep cooking that. Might talk to a judge tomorrow about it, see what their stance on it is, and see if what we have now is enough, or what I've cooked up is enough yet. Which is
That is around.
I don't know what to do with these victims. But yeah, a victim, or a victim dispatch call, vehicle reported leaving from the scene, and a suspect. I didn't say operating said motor vehicle. But I want
That's
to.
still one you're gonna have to work on.
Yeah, I
because
want to.
that's
I
not
want
gonna
to
be
talk to
enough.
them. I
Enough
want to
work
talk to the judges about it and see what to work with on that. But yeah, I need more. It feels like the 31 Bravos have really dropped off all of a sudden. And they're most easily caught when they're doing those chain robberies, and people just aren't doing them anymore. They're hitting like one person, and then by the time we respond, they're fucking God knows where. So that one might be a rough one, but maybe we'll get something there eventually over time when we have more units to be able to cover more ground quicker. I think that's all my stuff.
Okay. We also have we're adding a tag as I just added it. I don't know if I'm gonna keep the color, but stolen vehicle tag. So we can start creating a pattern with these. Start tagging your vehicles if you got a stolen vehicle. Do we want to go or tampering? What do we talk about down there?
We wanted to go
Vehicle?
We wanted to go stolen vehicle because it could also apply to a GTA charge.
Yeah, but you don't necessarily have a stolen vehicle with vehicle tampering, though, right? You can tag someone with vehicle tampering.
You're not wrong. Could tag somebody with vehicle tampering, and they could not have stolen the vehicle as of yet. That would be a charge.
I'll go vehicle tampering.
Yeah, it covers all the bases.
Okay, it's vehicle tampering now. All right,
It's
you guys
it's
got
a
anything else
stolen
before
vehicle
we?
for me right now.
You have to probably give it a moment. Unless I didn't save it, I'll double check. Anybody got anything else you want to go over?
No, I think I'm
Not we
good.
get out there. Okay. I got interviews here in a bit, so I probably will be out there a little bit, and I'll be on and off. So. Sure.
All good.
Again, hopefully sooner than later we have people out there. We'll have some help. All right.
Perfect. I can't
good,
wait.
Cap.
I can't
Yes.
wait.
I'm looking forward to it too. Believe me. I think we all are.
All right.
Same
All right, guys.
times.
Thank you.
Yeah, not a problem, Cap. Thank you.
Let's get
I'll
'em.
see y'all out there. Hey, Slacks, how you doing?
Hi, Slacks.
Hey, Zach.
Howdy, y'all be safe out there.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I'll try.
It'll be a real compliment, though, not like, a half-baked.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It'll be a real
It's still
compliment.
let's get started. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so to get us started,
Hmm.
could I have your first and last name as it appears on your ID, please?
Albert
When you have a minute, I want
Dutchman.
to talk to you.
Okay, give me 1 second. 1 second.
Yeah, no worries. Let me know.
I'm trying to be nosy. I want to know if this guy is one of the interviewees.
Albert.
It's not a
Oh,
work thing,
Albert,
though.
sorry about that.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
All right,
That's
let's-
fine.
let's go over here.
Now my ears.
Hey, if you want to snoop, you snoop. I don't
No, I'm good.
I'll be around.
What's
Let
up?
me try a compliment.
Let's go over here.
Broken, thank you for 34 months, by the way. I appreciate it. What's up?
So, I wanted to talk to you about Edda.
Okay, what's up?
And I spoke to Flop about her already. Myself and Edda have been getting relatively closer over the last little while. Which was initially back a long time ago, but recently
Mhm.
we've been spending more time together. And I don't know, I guess I just wanted to talk to you about that since when I spoke to her about it, she told me that I would need approval from Flop, yourself, and Richard.
Okay.
Now, this is something that is only just beginning. It is not really gone anywhere yet. It is going very
Okay.
slowly, and there is
Right,
no
as it
rushing towards
should.
anything.
Mm-hmm.
And that was something that I also articulated to her when she first told me that I was going to need all your guys' permission, was that there is no rush, and I know how much bullshit she has had to deal with. I've been talking with her a lot, and I told her specifically, like, I don't want her to feel like she needs to make decisions or needs to rush anything, or that I'm just going to flip flop and run the fuck away because she's taking too long to decide. I specifically told her to take as much time as she needs because I
Mhm.
want her to make a decision that she wants, above all.
Okay.
And with that, what I want for her is to help her be her best. I want to make her happy and smile, and I want her to do what she wants to do. And something that I specifically tell her regularly is that I am there for her when she needs me or when she wants me.
Hey. Well, for what it's worth, I think everything you've said here is solid. Okay. Everything you've indicated is exactly what I want for Etta. All right. Now when she's referring to, like, approval from us, are we talking like, to proceed sort of further in the relationship, or are we talking like, because I definitely need some clarification on that, because I mean, I typically see you in the capacity of our job, right? And you do great, but I don't see you often, outside of the capacity of our job. And those two could be very different things for people. That's not that I don't trust you. It's just, if I don't know, it's hard to be able to, give a double thumbs up,
Of course. I don't really know what the approval is for. Maybe my best guess is for things to get to an official capacity because it's not there yet. And I'm just kind of going to you guys out of my way. She didn't tell me to go talk to you guys. I just made this decision myself so that, if that time did come, then, I would already be moving in that direction. I
Okay.
like to cover my bases.
Well, in my book, you sort of have like a preliminary yes.
Right.
It's like, I think you're a good guy. I think you're a good guy, but there is still a lot more to learn. And I think the official yes would only really be sort of requested, much further into a relationship when y'all are considering, if y'all are considering something more than just, being each other's significant others.
Gotcha.
Lifelong
Absolutely.
partners, if you will.
Of course.
But yeah, listen, you treat her well. Okay, you treat her well. Communication is key in any relationship. Trust me.
Absolutely.
I can tell you firsthand, communication is key. So if something's on your mind, Edda's a straight shooter. All right.
Absolutely,
if she has a problem, she wants you to let her know. Because if there's something that she can do, if there's something that she believes you can do, she'll let you know. So don't stay quiet if something's on your mind with Edda, okay?
Well, that's perfect because I am very much the same way, and I have always been one that is very much. I don't like to let shit sit and fester, and if there's an issue and I see a potential solution to it, I will bring it up and I want to talk about it. And I think communication is one of the most important things, in anything really, especially with relationships.
I agree. Well, if that's the case, I wish all the absolute best. If you break her heart, we're gonna have issues.
I would expect nothing less.
Okay, good. You're not gonna break her heart, right?
I have zero intention of breaking her heart.
Okay, all right. Also, when you're speaking to me, especially about personal stuff, this is a personal request from me. Don't ever say articulate. That's like job PTSD.
Did I say articulate?
Yeah, you did. It's okay. Listen, you could have just said explained,
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It's been a day, and I've been articulating a whole fucking lot.
Listen, like I said, it's just a personal thing.
I got you. I'll better mind.
All right. You break her heart. Just remember, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but it gonna be something.
I believe it.
1:30, 10:41.
Check.
Two.
Special 197, 1041.
Aboard.
Why are the cars all the way down here? Just out of curiosity, do we have more vehicles? Disregard.
$125 40 76 to Mosley's. My car is driving like shit.
2024 little fun.
Make sure this is actually shut. Don't worry. Hold up. We got this. Dumbo, I wanted to say something. Mm-mm-mm. Is it still in here? Hell yeah. Another set of spikes. I didn't put that there. All right. We'll probably do a few grime traffic stops, and then we might transfer over to North Rockford, that dirty spot. That spot is so fucking dirty. It's crazy. Holy shit. I feel dirty. I feel dirty going there. Hey, that link is broken somehow. Is it missing the slash? Is that why? Like that? Strange. Really? I find that odd. I don't even know what's on the bingo card chat, so I can't even like
Echo 5 from Echo 20.
I can't even
Send it.
pretty
Did you
much
take care
bait
of the call at the rental
certain
spot?
things, you know?
Affirm.
Thank you.
Both ways work. Without the slash, it doesn't hyperlink in chat though. Sure. That's so strange. Hello? Oh, you okay? Just making sure. I'm glad. Damn, they must have been doing yoga. That shit's crazy. I fucking can't. You know what? I haven't seen the inside of this ammunition. Is this still like high tech looking? No, this is the original. There's like a super high tech looking one before. Mm-mm-mm. You know what? I think we're more likely to run into people returning. Going to our next dirty spot. Oh, this car's driving like shit. Okay. Dispatch 1038 southbound Popular Street with a tan. Glendale occupied twice.
Yeah, that's man. Hey, Rose.
Oh my gosh.
Yep, it's roads, yep.
I know you.
Gomer!
I
You're
know.
gonna say hi to me, you fuck.
Oh my god! How have you been?
Yep, getting back together.
125, all
Been
units
so
be
long,
advised
right?
most having a parts problem right now, so I'm gonna have to park up this vehicle and
Oh,
What do you
grab
think,
my
sorry,
my
one
trucking
second.
outfit?
They,
Do I look like a
currently
trucker?
do not
Do I
have.
look like a
Yeah,
trucker too?
yeah, you
Hold on.
you do.
Grandma,
You
let's
do.
get
You
up and
definitely look
dance,
like you'd
come
be
on.
at a truck stop.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what the idea was.
Oh.
I think Rose would be more into it if I did it.
Well, that's why I told you, get out, you dumb
No,
fuck.
no,
Come
no,
on.
do not get
didn't-
out. Do not. In fact,
I
you
don't
need to
wanna
get
Get out
back
of this
in.
ticket. Get out of this ticket, Gomer. Come on, shake that ass.
You think that's gonna get you out of the
It
of a
will.
ticket?
If Gomer shook his ass at you, he
I
100%.
I've been a good boy though, at least Rose. I've been pretty good.
I clocked you doing 99.
I know.
99.
I was coming downhill, kind of get stuck a little, just
Uh-huh. Girl,
Weird
you need to
talk,
get
you
back
know.
in the car.
Fine.
we like Rose. Rose is a good one.
You know,
Well-
I'd like to think so. I'd like to think
You
so.
are one of the good ones. You are. You definitely are.
Yeah, I
Uh,
like
yeah.
roads.
I've
thank you.
been kind of
I was-
chilling with the trucking, so I got a little excited when she's gonna go help me. It's gonna be her first
Okay.
time down there, so I got a little excited. I was flying down there. You're right.
Got it. Okay. All
He's
right.
putting me on the straight and narrow,
I'm
sir.
trying to get her on the right path. here,
Oh,
yeah.
legally,
Really?
This
Really?
is my first job ever, legal job, yeah.
Oh, well, remember we had that conversation the other day?
What
in front of the apartments, you were injured and you said, "Road, you should do what I'm doing."
What did I say I was doing? I can't remember.
Well, you
what I
didn't
said.
exactly clarify, but you sort of hesitated and you were like, something legal.
Yeah, it's this. This is the big thing I was talking about, man. This is my break.
Oh, so this is
You
like
should come do what I'm doing.
took you a few days to get a job with Gomer.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, all right.
Hmm.
Okay.
I mean, same for you, Rhodes. You ever want to sign off duty, go in the truck and drive around? I'm down to do that. Anytime you want.
Gomer, I'm gonna be real. I think I've been far more lenient with you than anyone else, but that's also because you number one, you're not an asshole to me.
Yeah.
Number two, you always admit to what you do wrong, and number three, you also let me know when those fucking scumbags are talking shit about me.
Right.
You know, they had the guys I'm talking about. You know, they filed a complaint against me.
I heard about that too, actually. Yeah.
Yep, they filed a complaint against me.
Did they go anywhere?
Well, it didn't go anywhere because they were wrong.
But they were. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's why I
he-
didn't really. I
he
was like,
knows
oh,
his
yeah, well,
rights.
good job, guys. Yeah,
Listen,
you're really
I'm
good.
just
Good job.
saying. I'm just saying. You can't swing at me with something.
Nope.
I say this a million times. I'm an energy matcher. Okay.
Yeah,
I
know
match
you are.
energy.
I know you.
I match and exceed.